Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night. Let's see. We've got Linda Peterson. She says she's having problems with her computer, and she'll try to be up here as soon as possible. And we got that Mary Ann Bimler and Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. There is Hiking with Jackie Boy and Amy of Leonard Mountain Homestead. My Alaska Bill. There's Heather and my buddy Chris at Adventure Awaits. And that's who we got so far. Yeah. What a big week. Or probably, I would say around the 22nd of April is when all this stuff started, when I went to Bar Run Forge. But I think that was the last time I was at my computer here. Because I did a live with Johnny, and I did a live with... No, that's not true. Okay. If you go back to when I went to Bar Run Forge, there was a couple of weeks between there where I went to home, where I came home, and then I went back again. But it was amazing. I had a lot of good fun, a lot of good people. The Gillums and Bar Run Forge, man, you guys knocked it out with the hospitalities. There's Bar Run Forge himself. I hope things are going well with your wife, Michelle. If she's resting and you want to, you can come up. I would like to get Johnny and you up, but I understand if you don't want to, or you just can't. There's Hardneck Farms. And who else am I missing? It was nice. We went to one of the restaurants, LJ's, and we got to see Amy and Chris. Had lunch with them. That was a lot of food, wasn't it, Amy? You didn't finish yours. Did you get to take it home? I'm sure you did. That was a lot of food. That was enough food for 4 people on each plate. Holy cow. But I'll go back again. I'll just have to keep in mind that it's 2 or 3 meals. I'll divide it right there before I start eating. Hiking with Jackie Boy's in here. Man, if you go back and look at Kevin's video, he did a really good storm video documenting what he was going through and showing all the details, and it was a good video. Go check it out, people. There's Leanne Gunther. Thank you for coming in. And so I was hoping, let's get some people in here. We'll start talking. There's the Damoose 1829. Yeah. What an amazing couple of, about a month. The Bar Run Forge. There's the Gillum Farm right there.
Hey.
Buddy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Hey, Troy. There's Wendy, James,
awesome.
Amy.
Yeah. There's James and Dana Mason.
Yep, Dana's here.
I don't even know where to start, Johnny. I had so much fun on this trip. I don't even know where to start.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
I know we I know we talked about a lot of it on both lives, your live with me and Troy's live with me.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you one thing, down there where I fell down and all that stuff. I was talking to Larry. You met Larry. You met Larry and Ronnie whenever we were down there. Well, Larry went the other day, and it took him 3 hours to get from that gate, that first big gate, to camp. 3 hours.
What happened? Tree
Well,
limbs down?
the storms came through and laid down a bunch of trees across that road. So he had
Wow.
to cut his way to camp. And then he said it took him 6 hours to get from camp up on the hill. So I can only imagine what it's like down there where we went. I mean, I know on the first trail camera that we changed the batteries on, if you remember that one, a tree fell down right in front of the camera. So 1 out of 3 spots, a tree fell. That doesn't bode well for how many trees are down there. It's going to be a lot.
Well, didn't one fall down before I even left? Even left your place?
Where?
On one of the trail cams. It seems like you told me that before I even left your.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it fell during that. Yeah, it was all during that storm that we had that night. Whenever a tree fell down there at Mid America,
Oh, and you
Yeah, it was
saw it
before
on the
you
cam.
left.
That was
Yes, the
before I
storm
left.
came through, and yes, that's when it fell. They fell. Hey, Tim. Tim made some amazing ribs on my grill. That Weber grill that we took out of the box and put together. Oh,
When did
man.
you do that?
Down there at Mid America. We put that grill together, and it was sitting there by my camper, and they came over there by my camper and cooked while me and you were gone.
we missed a lot, but you know what?
I didn't miss ribs because they gave me some.
That was an amazing auction we went to. So, what are you going to do? You can't have everything.
Yeah. I'm sitting here. I'm actually working on that video a little bit right now.
And that's my next
downloaded the drone footage of it, and yeah, it's going to be a good one.
So, people, I was going to wait until everybody got in, but man, it looks like they're all in. I put the video out last night, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock last night, about my adventures with Johnny. I'd say Christine, I saw her, but it wasn't in the videos because it was in the evenings and we were usually just sitting and chilling at that point. But that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And Dexter did too. Dexter got to stay with Christine while we went out and changed trail cams and all kinds of stuff.
Did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you'll see in the video. It's in the video, people.
You got to watch the video.
Yeah, you got to check it out.
Apparently, it's going to be videos, I guess.
Well, I'm going to do the auction separate. Right. And I'm thinking because the blue whale is such a specific thing, I might do that up separate too, because that will reach out to the general public.
Yeah.
This was kind of more about community. They're the ones that will watch this video that I just put out yesterday.
Right.
But hopefully it goes out further. It was kind of like John. It was like a Gillum Farms video from a different perspective.
Kind of. if you kind of, let's just put it that way. Speaking of that, we went on that tour of my buddy's place. Alan's place.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going down there tomorrow to pick out a heifer. They're selling us a heifer, so I'm going to get a heifer tomorrow, or going to pick one out. So Bill said he watched the blue whale video today. Are you still here, Brian?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking for something.
So yeah, I'm going to. If you saw the video, you saw a bunch of Alan and his wife's cattle in the video, and we're going to go over there and pick one of those out. We've got one cow that we're having a lot of trouble with, as far as she's had trouble calving the last 2 years, and so she's going to go to town, and we're going to replace her with one of Alan's cattle. So that is the plan. So anyway, and I was just downloading the drone footage of the auto auction. My seat.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even see you do that, but I know you did.
Yeah, I snuck off and did that one.
Well, there was many times where you and I were doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Linda Peterson. She made it.
Yep.
Yeah, those cattle were on cue with my video, I tell you.
Yeah. Town, James. Going to town. We've got 2 in queue for freezer camp, so this one's going to town. But you know, it is. We got to make a few bucks out of her so we can use it to buy the heifer that we're going to buy. That's right, Troy. You do.
What is cold? Need cold.
Cold is whenever you reduce your herd size because you have some that aren't making the cut.
So you make the cut.
So if you have some that aren't making the cut, then you know it's kind of imagine it like this. Imagine it's a sports team and you got all these people that want to be on the team, but you can't get everybody on the team, so you pick the best ones. Well, that's cull cows are ones that don't make the team. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, where is Paul Case? I haven't seen him tonight. Of course, it is Wednesday night, so you know they have church on Wednesday night. So
did you get to do anything fun with Bill? Is there a video coming out of that at all?
Not unless Bill took some video. I don't. We went and ate at Jose's. Kind of just chilled mainly. So you know he had to be back at get on a plane the next day. So we kind of just went and ate. We went out and checked on the cows, and unless he did some video, there's really not any video of it, I don't think. It's kind of like the only video that I've got that has any of you in it is going to be from whatever this auction is that's coming up. So only a short or two coming from Bill, he says, because it was only one day hanging with the Gillums.
Yeah. What time did you guys leave the campgrounds?
The campground from Mid-America. Sunday after they did, I don't know. You'd left, and wasn't very long after that.
Mm.
I think he went and looked at some stuff before he came up here. So he didn't follow me here. He was here later. Hey, Lori.
There's Rebecca.
Yep.
Farm All Fanatic. Lori, you're prepping for heaven. Is there anybody else in here we're missing?
So,
Old Path Woodworks.
As far as what you coming here and doing all this stuff, what was the funnest thing you thought we did?
That's a hard question. Because everything that you guys see in the video, I enjoyed myself a lot with all of those things. So, what was the best thing?
Okay, from what was in the video, from just the stuff that was in the video, what would you say was the funnest thing from things in that video? That way everybody else can relate to it out here in the
trail cam changing the batteries.
Yeah.
That's probably equal with maybe the auction, and which is not in the video. The auction is going to be a separate video.
Yep. Jose's is the best, says my Alaska. Guess what, Bill? We ate at Jose's today. So Christine, she got off work this evening and she came in here and she goes, do you want to go to Jose's? And I said, that's a stupid question. I'm always down for Jose's.
I was just talking to Chris today on the phone, Adventure Awaits, and I was telling him all the restaurants we went to. I have never, or at least not in the last 20 years, gone to that many restaurants in a short period of time like that. Holy cow. And there's a few of them I don't even know the names of.
Captain John's.
That was the first one.
Then there's a Mexican place over in
Captain John.
Eufaula. I don't remember the name of that one. And then there was Jose's and JL's.
What was the first one we went to that was Mexican?
That was if it was just me and you, it was Jose's.
No, we went the night before Jose's.
Oh yeah, that's when we went by and picked up the truck. Right.
No, that's when we went on the tour and everything. Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we went.
We went to Jose's. We went to Jose's after we did the trail because you were going to ask.
No, we went and picked up my truck over in Muskogee, and we ate at a Mexican restaurant in Muskogee, and I cannot remember the name of that place. Then you drove my truck back, and we went to Jose's the following day after that. Then we went to JL's.
Saw Amy and Chris.
Yep, saw Amy and Chris. So, yeah, we ate a few places.
We went to fast food 3 times.
Yeah.
We got our $17 egg sandwiches.
Bacon, egg, and cheese is what they were.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
That stuff's going up, man. Going up. So
I told myself I'm not going to worry about it when I'm on vacation, but I would not do that on a regular day. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of like a fish sandwich. If you don't want to get shocked, don't go buy a fish sandwich at McDonald's. It's like sticker shock for a fish sandwich. It's got a piece of cheese, half a piece of cheese. I'm sorry. It's got half a slice of cheese and some of that tartar sauce on it, and a frozen fish patty that they've thrown in the fryer on a bun. And that thing will give you sticker shock. It's crazy. Hey, Andale. There's Mike is making stuff. And Troy, how come you aren't on panel?
Because his wife had surgery yesterday, and he probably decided, I understand that he would not come up tonight.
Okie dokie. So, but anyway, yeah, we had a really good time. I know I'm not really good at doing stuff on cue. I think, as far as somebody saying, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to walk here and we're going to talk and we're going to do this. I'm not real good with that. I'm absolutely horrible at that. I'm good at, you just need to put a camera on me and be videoing the whole time and then just get what you want of it.
Well, we definitely have different editing processes, but that's okay. And Dale's in here.
Yep. Said hello to her just a minute ago.
Well, the thing of it is, you don't usually have I'm not used to having a second person with me. And neither, well, other than Christine when she's in it.
Yeah, I'm not used to talking.
It's usually you talking. What? You open every video with howdy, 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 or
Not every video.
new
Tell
day.
me you don't watch my stuff, Brian, without and tell me you don't watch my stuff.
I give you an in detail comment on all your videos. Don't tell me.
I know, but I there's a few videos I never say a word in. A few. And I actually love those. I love the videos I don't speak in.
You know, it is easier. I mean, this video I'm doing now, this is the blank. I was at Troy's and I had it started.
Nice.
This is almost the final blank from my lathe.
Nice.
And there's not going to be any talking in this video.
There you go.
Nope.
Sounds awesome already.
Oh. Yeah, I already recorded making the blank, so it's already going. I already did my first. Now, you guys saw, some of you guys saw this last week, but this was just practice. This was just putting something on a lathe and doing the process. And then, of course, I did the handle on the shave horse that Troy has. So,
awesome.
What?
I said that's awesome.
Well, it's awesome that I got to do it. The actual hammer, the actual mallet isn't awesome.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
But I used it to make this.
There you go. It's awesome. Everything doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, Brian. Things just have to be,
No, and I've been talking to
really
Troy.
cool.
I was talking to Troy about that. How, because I'm so used to doing trim work, it's got to be this, all the angles have to be cut right and stuff. It's nice to be able to do brain damaged hammer.
There you go. The ugly stick. Is that what y'all call it? The ugly stick? I remember that.
I said that and it stuck. Although it's not really just a stick, it's a mallet. So we'll call it the ugly stick because that's what stuck. It's what stuck when we said it at first. Yeah, and Troy and I also mentioned in the video, but I didn't have it in the video, that we went and stopped at salvage and antique stores, and I got these two.
Yep.
Picket fences, or what are these? Picket finials.
Finials. Okay.
I thought those would be cool to do in a project someday. I don't know what it's going to be. I told Johnny probably a birdhouse or something, but we'll see.
Those are nice. But we got to do that too.
What else was it?
We got, going to those antique stores. That was really nice. I don't normally do stuff like that, but Brian,
I was kind of thinking that wasn't your thing, but then you did enjoy looking at it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I've lived over here near that blue well my entire life, and I've never stopped. But when Brian was here, we went to the blue well.
That's not a Johnny thing either, but he enjoyed it anyway.
There you go.
There you go. But he's the one who suggested it.
Well, I've been thinking you're coming back probably next March. I know if that was a secret, I'm sorry, but I threw it out there. So if you're coming,
secret now.
So you're coming back, and me and Christine have already started the list of what we're going to do.
Oh,
and you're going to like it because she came up with some stuff that I hadn't even thought of, and I thought that is going to be cool because it's stuff that I really like to do. It's just I didn't think of it yet. So now you told our secret, but I don't get to know what they are. I will let you know, and then you can start looking it up and doing your research like you did on the blue whale.
Well, one thing that
Brian knew all this stuff about the blue whale, and I had no idea about any of it.
Well, when we went to Shoot Dang, they were talking about the blue whale, so I looked it up, and I thought that maybe my dad and I would go over and look at it. It just didn't. We didn't have time to go do it. So,
Right. Hey, Kevin.
but yeah, that was. You know how you go to something because people have talked about it, and you think, oh, it's something I got to do now because people have been talking about it, and then it'll probably be boring or whatever. I was actually pretty impressed. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like Niagara Falls. Everybody thinks, oh, that's on my bucket list to go see Niagara Falls. Well, I live near Niagara Falls, and we've been there, and it's water going over a cliff. And after about 5 seconds, you've experienced it.
You even had some water going over a small cliff in your video. Yeah, that's down there.
That was the only video clip he took of me on all the adventures. Took a video clip of me taking that video clip.
Yeah. So no, there's a lot of video with you in it, but it's all at the salvage at the where we were at that and that place was really cool. The old cars and stuff like that. I'm really excited about making this one. It should come out Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to start working on it tomorrow. I kind of wanted to put it. I kind of thought it would be neat if people could see both of them.
Well, you better get hooking if you're going to put it out Friday.
You putting it out and me putting it out a week later, But I'll try to get it out as fast as I can. That was really cool. That was right up my alley. I love designing, and especially those old vehicles, and for a different reason. In a focused different reason than you would, because I'm sure you appreciate the design and stuff, but you're probably more into the engine and what it can do and all that stuff. I'm interested in the design.
Well, I love the design as well. Like my GTO has curves and stuff like that. I think my GTO is that body style is. If you're going to call a car sexy, that's one of the sexiest body styles that ever was. This is a 69 GTO. And because it actually does something as well as just be pretty is just icing on the cake.
I can appreciate the GTO, believe me.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, it's very, the curves on that thing, it's just so nice.
But see, what I'm excited about experiencing with you and Christine is maybe doing something, setting up your shop. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be some of that going on too, because that shop, we have a really nice shop. And it's a 30 by 50. It's concrete floor. It's fully insulated, doors and everything. But as Brian can attest, it is completely unfinished inside. I mean, it's full of stuff right now. I'm going to start doing a video of cleaning it out, but it needs everything. It needs wiring and lights, and I've been gathering up tools for it. I've got a parts washer. I've got a press. I've been buying a lot of stuff at auctions for it. We picked up a welder the other day and a cutting torch from my friend who just, hey, do you need a cutting torch? Yeah. Do you need a welder? Yeah.
It's in the video.
Yeah.
Johnny didn't take any video. I got it.
No, I didn't get any video of it, but I'll have something after the fact on it, I'm sure. But I'll probably take a little video tomorrow of going over and looking at the cows and picking out a cow. Real like the meetup video, Brian. Johnny fell off the four-wheeler putting out deer licks. I was laughing my butt off. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't the only time I fell down that day. I fell twice. He just missed it the second time. So
Troy says he feels the same way about Niagara Falls. He spent more time looking at the Tesla stuff than the falls.
yeah.
Tesla.
Muscar. He had a 72 Impala, and I thought that thing was so much prettier than my goat. It was slow, but it was pretty. Yeah. I've got a little 60 model Jeep CJ5 out here, and I'm really excited about working on that little thing. I really think it's going to be the coolest thing ever whenever I get that thing busted off and running and moving around. It's got the, I think it's called the 134A Hurricane engine in it. It's an F type. They call it an F head. Little 4-cylinder.
Hey Johnny, let's say hi to some of these people that came in. There's several of them. Let's see. We got Tony from Our Cabin in the Woods.
Hey, Tony.
Pine and Oak Woodworks. And there's Mike is Making Stuff. Jeff Killian. And JP Woodwork. Nice. Thank you for coming in, people.
Heather Lansker.
See,
Leanne Gunther.
my intention when getting involved with makers stuff is anybody who makes. I'm interested in anybody who makes anything. I'm starting with woodworking just to get in there. A lot of my shop equipment is woodworking stuff, but I would like to jump into resin and metal and all kinds of things that I think about doing. And
Hey, Peter.
it'll evolve. Old Man King Homestead's in here.
Yes, Mike, you are correct.
So I would even like to learn how to, I don't know that I would want to paint a car I want to do the designs on a car. I know I've often thought about designing tailgates with airbrush for trucks.
I've got one you can practice on over here.
I'm sure.
Really, I've got a 68 GMC tailgate.
His adapter for the lathe came in. I can put the chuck on now to do bowls and such. That's awesome, Troy. Yeah, we went to Harbor Freight and he bought a chuck for his lathe, and then we get home and it's not the right size. So I said, you're just going to have to order a adapter. So that's awesome. And thank you so much, Troy and Michelle. I had a great time as well as with Johnny and Christine.
Did you take them any ticks?
I didn't have any ticks at his place, I don't think. But I sent you a small video clip of a tick, Johnny.
Yeah, that's all.
And that was a homegrown one. I was replacing or fixing the door and steps to the back of my house. And earlier that day, my dad had got stuck in the mud with the brush hog. And I went down and there were, tall weeds that I was walking through with shorts on. And that sucker, just about an hour later, I was working on it and I felt my neck, and my dad came to look and see what I was doing. And I was like, holy crap. It was a big one too. That was a big one.
So that's a big old New York tick.
Well, I don't usually walk around in tall weeds. We always keep it short, but it got ahead of us and he was down there plowing around or brush hogging around the pond. And it was, I'm sure marshy land is great for ticks. I would assume. And I knew it. I said, Man, this is Tick Haven, and I'm walking right through it.
Yeah. Bill got a bunch
Because
of
they
ticks.
are up here.
Bill
It's not
come
like
up
ticks
with a
don't
bunch-
exist there.
Bill got a bunch of ticks from the meetup, and so did Amy. Amy and her bunch, they ended up with I don't know how many ticks on them from the meetup.
Well, I don't know whose kids those were, but they were doing snow angels in the leaves.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, are you nuts?
Yeah. There's those. I'll tell you, good tick habitat is dead leaves off oak trees. And the dead leaves down there around all those trees was amazing. There were so many leaves, and those kids were laying in them doing snow angels, and that's tick habitat. I mean, that's just, yeah,
Chicks and tiggers.
chicks and tiggers.
I'll never live that one down. I'm not sure. I know I got a tick at Troy's during the meetup because I'm sorry. That was an ant. I was sitting there with Jeannie Troy, and she was petting Dexter here. And she goes, he keeps licking at his lip, and I don't know what is there. And I looked at it, and it was an ant, and it was clung to his lip. I had to pull it off like a tick.
Wendy said our farm is covering leaves under all the oak trees. Yikes. Yeah. Prescribed burns or controlled burns are really good for that type of a problem.
You woke up for a second. I think
Hey, there's Dexter.
Johnny wants to see his buddy.
Hey, Dexter. There's my buddy.
There's your buddy. There's your
There's
buddy.
my buddy right there. Dexter is the sweetest little dog. Dexter will just jump up. I got so little done when Dexter was here. It was, it was crazy.
Oh, it was just in the evening when you were sitting in your chair anyway.
Dexter would jump up in my lap and fall immediately asleep. And, you don't want to. Oh, look, Dexter has gotten frisky. Now Dexter came to Oklahoma and is just friskier. Seems to be.
You know what? That one evening when we were just hanging out and getting ready for my live and stuff, Christine was doing something in the kitchen. You were doing something, setting up computers, and I was doing something else. And he was just rip roaring around your house, going to all three of us.
Right.
And I've never seen him do that. Dexter is a rescue, and he had been through a lot in his first, just before I got him. And he's really opened up a lot. And I don't think he's done opening.
Troy said, don't let Dexter burp close to your face. Are you saying that he needs to get him some of those milk bone things?
It wasn't his teeth. It was the depths of hell opened up from his stomach. He burped it up. Troy was holding him, I guess, like a baby or something. And Dexter looked up and went burp right in his face. He was like, good Lord, what died? But no, that wasn't his breath.
Wendy says rescue babies are the best. I tell you what, folks, seriously, if you're around Oklahoma or whatever and you find a rescue that is exactly like Dexter, that's what we're looking for. Just saying.
I can help you find that. I could call.
Exactly.
I should call that.
Exactly.
I should call the lady I got Dexter from, and she could probably help me do a search.
Exactly.
And you're not getting. You can't have Dexter. I think there's 3 people here that would kill anybody that tried to take Dexter from us.
Tony says, let's stop talking about ticks. You got me itching now. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was, Lori. What crawled in him and died. I didn't smell it. Troy sure did. He got to smell the depths of
Mhm.
whatever that was.
Well, I can tell you, I'm going to have to go back down to the deer camp here in the next, probably in the next week. And I'm going to take my tractor and my chainsaw and go down there and see how bad it's going to be to get down to where we were. That's that's miles up in there. And I'm sure if it's like a half a mile from the gate to the actual camp up in there. And if it took Larry 3 hours to get there, I can only imagine what it's like to get down there to where we were. So, and I also understand the power is out down there too. They said there's a tree down across the power line right there inside the fence, inside the gate.
Now, who would guess that Minnie was the runt of the litter?
Yeah. And that's
She
what
seemed like a pretty assertive dog.
See, we had a runt one time. Our runt was named Stormy, and she was a little miniature Sheltie, and she was no bigger than Dexter right there, full grown. And she was we had her for 23 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
But I could imagine that. I mean, I think Paco was 19, so that's adding just a few more years on.
Yeah. Yeah. And those little dogs like that, they're cared for so well, they're in the house all the time. And they're cared for real well. And typically they can live quite a long time. But I remember she was 23 whenever she passed away.
Did you have her from a puppy?
Had her from just like a week after she was born is when we got her. And had her a long time.
Yeah, having a pet is you have to live through. I mean,
hi Jennifer.
Assuming you're lucky enough to have the dog its full life. I mean, sometimes things happen like car hits, and I've had that happen. That's pretty traumatic.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I lost my Mac to a car. I only had him for 7 years. That was really hard, and it took me a long time to get over it. Paco, oh my gosh. Boom. There's my other buddy.
There he is.
How you doing? How's Michelle doing?
We have a saying here called war slap out.
What's that?
He's saying war slap out.
Yep.
War slap out.
Yep.
Okay.
He's worn out.
Oh.
I'm hard.
He tarred.
Johnny understands both of those phrases.
Yes, I do.
Does he sound muffled to you, Johnny?
A little bit.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't understand what he was saying. But don't worry about it.
So Tony said Angie's grandma had a cat that was 36 years old. I'm sorry, Tony.
I'm not a cat. You know what? I have seen cats that I really thought were cool in my life, but it is so rare. I am not a cat person. I am a dog person 100%.
Yeah.
And
how are you, Troy, other than war slap smooth out?
I'm doing okay. I really am. Good. Life is good. I'm super blessed and got a lot going on. But I used to tell my kids when they were little and something happened, I'd say, world keeps spinning. It doesn't stop just because you got something going on. Yeah. And then every once in a while, I had something happen, and Eli was really good about saying, "Hey, Dad, world keeps spinning."
Yeah.
You gotta be careful what you say to your kids because they'll repeat it back to you.
It took me a long time to grab onto that notion, and things are a lot better now. something doesn't happen the way you want it to, you just gotta step back and say, hey, move on.
It's not going to stop just because you want it to, or because things are going not your way. It's going to keep on rolling.
Right. Everybody out there, now don't get wound up. I didn't say I don't like cats. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just saying a 36-year-old cat, I'm sure there was some things that happened in those 36 years. Cats, I don't know if you guys who have cats, I've had cats in the past, and my experience with cats is they never die a natural death.
no, they're
Something happens to them every time. So,
curiosity killed the cat.
so I mean, every one of ours, something has happened to it, and that's the reason why it was no longer around.
Some people have those cats that only want to be indoors, so they live longer. But as soon as they go out, or you let them out and they run off and they do something, a lot of times you never see them again. And I didn't say, I was pretty harsh with saying I am not a cat person at all. That's fine. If you have a cat, I can go to your house. I could sit on the couch, pet the cat, enjoy being with the cat. But when I'm done, I'm done. And then I would not want a cat myself.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't mind having some barn cats out here, something to, just chase down the mice and stuff like that. But as a matter of fact, today I was, for some reason, I need to look in the well house for something. And, every other time I've looked I looked in there 2 weeks ago and it was fine. So I looked in it today and I was horrified. A pack of mice found our well house. They got in there. There was a 40-pound bag of bird feed in there, and they had scattered that. I could not believe that mice were able to take bird feed in bulk and layer the whole floor of that bird house. That well house. It was that deep all the way across that well house. And so I start taking stuff out because the well house was full of stuff. Christine puts a lot of her gardening things and stuff like that in there. So I'm taking things out. Well, I'm heading to bed. Night, Amy. So anyway, I'm taking things out, and I grabbed hold of some really fine netting that Christine has. I'm sure it had something to do with something she was doing at one time. And I pull that thing out, and it's got 2 snakes in it. And these snakes are caught in this mesh, in this. They're caught. They've gone through the fiber holes and stuff like that in that netting, and they have gotten entwined in it. So I sat there with my pocket knife cutting these snakes out, and then taking the snakes and just turning them loose back in the well house.
Yeah.
Because the reason they were there was because of those mice. And but I went ahead and I cleaned the entire well house out. I had a wet or dry shop vac, and I think I filled it and emptied it 3 times and got it all cleaned out and got every single thing out of the well house except for the heater that we keep in there. And
which building was the well house?
If you come off the porch looking toward the chickens, it'd be that little bitty brown building just right there beside the chicken coop.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, it's between the chickens and the garden. It's right there. So I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how bad those mice had done in there. It was crazy.
I've thought of having a barn. We have wild cats around here, and those hawks have been, man, I have not seen that many chipmunks in the last year, I would say. And we were riddled with them for a while there. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
And those hawks have been taken, and the hawks know that Dexter is here. That's why now I have to have him on a leash. I was hoping to get to the point where he didn't have to be on a leash, but now forget it. Forget it, because that hawk knows he's here. And
Oh yeah.
I saw him eyeballing him.
Eyeballing him. He's
I
sized him up. He's
I
sizing
think
Dexter.
I told this story before. I can't remember who I told it to, probably Troy. But I went out for a walk with him, and we have these raised tomato containers for growing the tomatoes, and then we have these posts with a rod on the top so that you can tie the tomatoes up. And we went out there, and I was looking at the tomatoes, and I had Dexter, and I look up. I mean, we're talking 6 feet. And that hawk was sitting right on top of that pole. I was so close I could see his eyes dilating and looking at Dexter. And it says, that thing wants Dexter bad.
He was sizing him up.
Oh, he was. And it scared me because I realized now, and there's 2 of them, and they still are around. They're flying around, and I don't dare to let them loose.
Those birds will look at stuff and they'll say, can I? Maybe I can, and stuff like that. Because if they try to take something too big, it a lot of times it ends in their death. Simply because of, they get wounded trying to move something like that, or trying to go ahead and kill it or whatever. So they'll size them up pretty well. And a lot of cats get taken by stuff like that, owls especially. Owls are hard on cats.
Well, see, the thing of it is, a hawk might not be able to lift Dexter, but they'll kill it in place.
Yeah, well, would try to kill it in place. I mean, Dexter could probably put up a little fight.
Well, he probably would. I've seen video of him being pretty feisty.
Yeah.
I have not seen it myself, but he can play pretty hard sometimes. Like I said, that dog is not done opening up. I can guarantee you.
Our cat Happy keeps things under control. Here, fact, she had a full-size squirrel in the garage, half gone. Right?
Yeah. I won't tell you everything I feel about cats, but I'll just say there are 2 good uses for a cat.
Does it involve Chinese?
I'm just saying there are 2 good uses. Anyway, we had a problem with rats, or still have a problem with rats in our greenhouse and our hen house. I had the floor of the hen house is pavers, big 1x1 pavers, and they completely dug up underneath everything in there. Every one of them. I had to take it all up, re-level the gravel, put it all back. 2 days later, all tore up again. 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like a 12x12 section that they completely tore up in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right. Mice and rats are horrible.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad idea for both of you to have maybe even me, to have an outdoor cat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. One thing that did traumatize me a little while back. I'm going to tell you. I'm being facetious here a little bit, but anyway.
Oh, I thought we were going to get you to open up a little bit.
I thought we were going to see.
We were getting
cry.
Whenever we moved up here, where we're at, we never saw any rabbits ever. Never saw any rabbits, and it's because too many bobcats, coyotes, etc., etc., etc. So we started getting a couple of rabbits here around the house, and I'm like, oh, cool, look, a little bunny, stuff like that, and I'm thinking in a way of like, maybe we'll end up with a huntable population of rabbits, eventually. I wasn't thinking about it, oh, the cute little bunny, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking about it, we might get a huntable population of rabbits around here, and I might be able to go out and, kick a few brush piles in the snow and get some rabbits in the wintertime, like I did whenever I was a boy. Well, I was sitting there, I pulled up to the gate, and there was a rabbit in my headlights right there by the gate. And I'm like, oh, cool, there's a rabbit. All of a sudden, this cat came out of nowhere and bowled that rabbit and killed it right there in front of me. And before I could get the gate open, that thing had took that rabbit and booked it up in the brush.
Did it scream?
Yes. Yeah, rabbit was screaming, and I can tell you those cats they are the huntingest things there are. I mean, those dudes can hunt like crazy.
A screaming, the sound of a screaming rabbit is,
Hey, Josh.
that's pretty. I don't know. There's nothing like like the sound of that, and it's kind of upsetting.
Wow, that's a rat. No, it was a cat. Cat and rabbits. No, it didn't. It didn't take a rat. It took a rabbit.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Oh, Spanky's here.
Yeah, please like everybody. Like the live.
Like everybody.
And if you haven't seen my video, it came out yesterday. Go check it out.
Yep, check it out.
I'm actually
You get to see me fall down. Just Brian just laughing it up. You never saw anything out there and help me up. You never saw any of that. He just stood there like most of the population and just videoed my,
You know what? I was thinking, does he need help, or is the video valuable? I was thinking this in my head. I was like, man, this is a good video.
Johnny, at the very least, Johnny, I would have at least looked for a place to set the camera down to still get good footage, and then I would have helped you. But I don't know that I would have just stood there and took the video.
It's hard to stand those phones up on a,
He was.
I would have dropped the camera laughing my butt off. Either one.
We were laughing our butts off. That's why I wasn't too worried about it, because he was laughing while he was falling. And then when he landed, he was still laughing. And then he got up and he was laughing. So I wasn't too worried about it.
There's nothing like a great friend, and that was nothing like a great friend.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I said in the video, put the camera down.
If I'd have broke my leg, I'd have still been laughing. So
that would have made it all the more hilarious.
Wow. Wow.
That would have been gold, Johnny.
Yeah, if I'd have broke my leg, that would have been.
Yeah, you could have corrected your crooked leg.
He's looking for that 1 million view video.
Yeah. The things some creators will do to get content,
Especially if my leg was, like bent at a weird angle,
Right.
All that stuff. It would have been, yeah.
You do want to fix that bent leg. Well, at first I was concerned that the wheel was going to run over your hand because you had your hand really close. And then after I realized you were clear of that, I was okay with it.
I could really see the concern on the camera's face too. It was very clear.
Yeah, I could see it. I like the part where he got me crossing that creek with the 4-wheeler, that little creek. He was expecting me to come back and get him. Did I? No.
It was no big deal because I had boots up to my knees.
Yeah, but you were over there hollering and still.
I did not. I did not. I said, really? And you said, yes, really. So I said, okay.
There you go.
That was the extent of that conversation. I didn't cry. I didn't get down on my hands and knees. Oh, Johnny, please come get me. I'm going to die.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what a great time. And you know how you go on those vacations and you're like, I'm ready to go home. Well, I never felt that. I never felt that point of I'm ready to go home. I just knew I had to go home. And that was the extent of that.
That's a good vacation.
It was a very good vacation.
Because
all of it, right? Straight to the end when I left Troy's. I said, I told Troy, I don't like long goodbyes. We said goodbye, gave our hugs. I went to the bathroom one last time and I was out of there because I could have probably sat there a little longer even.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah, and
easy.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I've been on vacation many times. Whenever I was, and half the vacation I was thinking about what I could be doing at the house,
Yep.
and making excuses to get back home. To get things done and stuff like that. James Hall says time's up.
Wow.
All right, people. You're going to want to go over to Peter. That's Old Man King Homestead. It is 10 o'clock Central. So I want to thank everybody that came into the chat. Thank you for my moderators for protecting my channel. Thank you to Johnny and Troy for coming in on panel. I had a great time this last 3 weeks or so. It's long. I mean, I would say even going back to when I went to the Bar Run Forge meetup was pretty awesome. So I look forward to seeing them more. But for now, we got to go. See you next Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hi guys.